Hello, everyone. It is Mr. Fernandez again, and we are in week 2 of careers now. And so, what we're doing with careers this week is you are going to be creating a whole lot of questions. So, you're going to start with creating 20 questions that you could ask somebody to learn more about who they are as a person. Then you're going to come up with another 20 questions that you could ask that same person to learn about their career. Then, what are you going to do with those questions? You're going to ask one of your guardians in your home those questions. It could be your mother, your father, your aunt, your uncle, grandparents, whoever your guardians are. And choose one that has a career that might interest you or that you want to learn more about. Keep in mind, anything can be a career. So if they're a stay at home guardian, that is a career. If they're a doctor, that is a career. If they work at importance, that is a career. Uh, so ask them those questions. And then what are you going to do with that information? You're going to create a short 4 to 6 minute video where you introduce the person. They don't need to be in your video. It's just going to be you, and you're going to talk about who they are, what they've done, how they got into their career, all that fun stuff. And then the week afterwards, you're going to continue to use that information. So let's turn now to the different resources that you have for that we have. And so we, as I said, are in week 2 right there. And so you're going to come up with 20 questions that you can learn about someone, 20 questions to learn about their career, and then interview them. And then you're going to create the video. So where do you find all these resources? So if we go to our opening page, hello careers, click on classwork. And then at the top, career school closure. Let's just minimize those. This is what it's going to look like. And so you're going to go to week 2, click that. And there will be a video here, which is the video that you're actually currently watching, which are the instructions for the week. The first page I want you to look at are the resources. So I've found a couple of videos and some websites for you to peruse. So the first 3 have different questions that I want you to look through to get some ideas. 40 questions is a lot of questions, and you might find yourself kind of creating the same question over and over and over again. So look at these 3 websites, 1, 2, and 3, that go over different questions that you can ask. The final one, the number 4, is a video that talks about how to have a conversation with somebody. What are some different strategies you can do? So watch that video and really pay attention to what they're saying in terms of how to listen and how to learn. The next one you're going to look at is step 1, preparing questions. And so I've broken this up into 3 distinct steps for you. So task, you will come up with questions. And so here, question criteria is 20 questions to learn about someone, their interests or hobbies, skills and talents, strengths and weaknesses, anything like that. And then 20 questions to learn about someone's career, qualifications, pathways to get into the career, the path that specific person took, compensation, that's things like your pay, your benefits, vacation time, all of those goes into your compensation. Maybe they get commission, they get discounts, etc. Why they entered the career, all things along that line. And then, as always, for this course, you're going to self-evaluate. So you're going to tell me what you did well, what you need to improve on, and how you will improve, and then give yourself a level. So that's step 1. Step 2 is you're actually going to interview the person. So what are the requirements? You must use the questions that you previously created, and you must ask all of your questions. If you do not ask a question, make a little note that explains why. And then you should take notes during the interview because you're going to have to use this information. And then if you ask an unscripted question like a follow-up, or if they say something that is of interest to you, make note of that question that you asked. And then I give you some suggestions on how to interview. Ask your guardian if he or she or they have time. If not, then find time that works for both of you. Explain why you're going to interview them. Don't just say, hey, can I ask you some questions? And then sit down and start, boom, all these personal questions. You want to explain why you're doing it. Make sure your guardian knows they can skip a question if they do not wish to answer. Everybody who's asked a question has that full right. Be polite and be respectful. Read the question slowly and clearly, and if you need to, repeat. If they didn't answer the question directly, repeat the question. Say, I really appreciate the answer that you gave, but I'm going to ask it again because I'm looking for this kind of information. And then keep your devices turned off and away during the interview. So don't be on your cell phone and such while you're interviewing them. Show them that respect. And then, as always, you will do your self evaluation. When you're done that, your last thing that you're going to do is you're going to go to step 3, where you're going to create a video, or if you can't do a video, you're going to create a write-up. Your video needs to be between 4 and 6 minutes long, no more than 7 minutes, and no less than 3. Record yourself sharing the information. So again, it's just you. Organize the video so that it is coherent. You want to have a script. You want to have an outline as to things that you want to talk about during it. So don't be jumping around from like, oh, my guardian is this age and works here, and this is why she works there, and this was her mom, and that just gets convoluted. Have different sections, you can record your video in parts and then edit it on your phone together. So personal information, and then how they got into the career and why they got into the career. If you can, try to add visuals or titles. So a lot of free video editing software, so I'm pretty sure that Google has their own that you can use. They have some ways to add some visuals and titles, so get creative, but it's not mandatory. Then if you want to do a write-up instead, 2 to 4 pages long, no more than 5 and no less than 1, double space, Times New Roman size 12, and use paragraphs to organize your work and push yourself with subtitles. And so the information requirements include the information you feel is relevant and important to know. You're not going to be able to include all the information you get from your interview, so pick and choose the stuff that you feel is most relevant. And then, like everything else, you're going to self-evaluate. So that's it for this week. You're coming up with questions, interviewing a guardian, and then you're going to introduce your guardian to me. It's pretty straightforward. Nothing's hidden. There's no secret things that you need to do. We are starting to look at how to find out about a career. And there's a lot of careers. There's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of careers. And you need to start thinking about why you're going to go into the career that you will. And think about what you want to do. Don't think about what you want to be. And that comes from Barack Obama. When last year I went with the Black Youth Diversity Group and Boys and Girls Club to hear him speak at the Scotiabank Place, there's a really important part where he said, don't try to be something. If you want to be president, then you're always going to do whatever you can to stay in that position. Think about what you want to do. If you want to make change in the world, you can do that across any number of careers. If you want to help people, you can do that across a lot of different careers. So try and get to the bottom of that. What do you want to do in life, not what do you want to be? And that's what we're going to start exploring. So this is the very first step where we're going with someone who's safe, who's already in your home. You're going to use these questions, ask them, learn about them, and then introduce them. The following week, you're going to create some pieces about them, so a resume and then a poster for their career. And then the following week, that's where you're going to have to push yourself really hard because you're going to interview a stranger. I'm going to give you their contact information, and you're going to arrange a time to interview them with the questions you've already created. Okay? If you have questions, if you have comments, if you have concerns, as always, let me know, and I'll do whatever I can to help you out. Okay? Have a great one. Bye.